Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Emma One coming to you with another lesson for the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praises on the to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Shemaka Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who well and peace and blessings to the Archimate that doing this work in truth and sincerity in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So it's a really short little clip I want to play here, right? And this these are some basketball players turning up in the land of Moab, man, and you just got to listen to what these Moabites are saying. All right.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
So you hear that? You see these Moabites, man. They're the first people to try and act like, they're the same as you. I saw something one time and one of them tried to, I don't know if it was a film or something, he tried to say, I'm the same as you, I'm the same as you. Like he was being attacked by some jakes and he's like, I'm the same as you. No, they're not the same as us, man. Alright? They know they're not the same as us. And in fact, they hate us, man. And I'm just going to quickly, like all the other heathens, man, they hate us. Alright? I'm going to read this. Psalms 83. It says, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Right? So not only do they hate us, they hate Yahweh Bashem Yahushai as well. Because remember, they had their own false idols and gods, man. Verse 3, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And who's the Lord's people, man? Obviously, we know it's by now you should know who they are. It's the Israelites, man, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And also we are mixed amongst the other nations, even Moab. So it says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And still to this point, we are the hidden ones, man. You got people over there in the state of Israel claiming to be Jews, man. All right, but they're not. It says they have come. So it's like they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And they have, and so all the heathen nations have basically come together in agreement to destroy the nation of Israel, man. That's why, and this is part of the Lord's plan. But that's why we never above them, man. The scriptures do. Deuteronomy 28 tells you that they will, the strangers around about us will be above us and we will be below, man. Anywhere you go where Jake lives, man, in the ghettos, you got these Moabites and these Ishmaelites and these Elamites all around you, especially here in the UK, all around you, man, running the shops, selling you stuff, man. You got to go to them for your goods, man. Right? And then they call you brother to your face, but when you're gone, they're calling you all sorts, man. Probably calling you the M-word and all that, and I'm going to say the M-word just to keep the language that I'm saying on a level. All right. But yeah, they're doing that, man. It says, yeah, verse 4, I'll read it again. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in the remembrance. And that means the true name of Israel, man, not them fake ones out in Israeli land, man. And it says, cut them off from being a nation, right? Because all these nations are suppressing the truth about who the real Israelites are, man. All the other nations, you know, the top people of them nations, and even some of the lower people know who the real Israelites are. All right, they know this. The only people that don't know is the true Israelites themselves. Verse 5 says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So they've all come together, right, in unison to destroy the nation of Israel, man. It says the tabernacles of Edom. We know who they are, the so-called white man, right? The Ishmaelites, you know, those Muslims and whatnot, and you got Moab, man, right? Moab is the Chinese, man, so-called Chinese. So, and then, you know, I'm going to leave it on that point because this is what I want to focus on, Moab, man. All right, these are the same people now that are running up in the West Coast, and it's funny how they're not running up in the other African countries. They're running up in the West Coast, man, right, where the majority of Jakes are in the continent of Africa, man, mainly Ghana and Nigeria, and also running up in Jamaica, man, where the Benjamites dwell. So, you know, to this day, they're still, you know, trying to usurp themselves over the true Israelites, man. Basically, they're running up in these countries trying to take over, buying up land, building businesses, shutting Jakes out of the business, man. Out of, you know, making that money. You know, because they're prideful, man. You know, they're prideful. They think that they got next, which is so far from the truth. It's unbelievable. This is Isaiah 16 and 6. It says, we have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness and his pride and his wrath, but his life shall not be so. Right? And they are prideful. And why are they prideful, man? Because look what happened when this whole C-19 started, man. Look how people were treating them. You'd think that they would know better than to be calling, you know, guys just coming to their land to play some sports. You know, that, you know, no, I'm going to say the word, man. Calling them niggers, right? You know, and they were really enjoying that. You could tell, man, they were really enjoying that. It's like they felt power. You know, because these other nations know there is power to the weak of our people in that word, man. It affects the weak of our people, man. Because they don't know what they are. You can call them anything, and, you know, our people don't even know who they are. And our people even call themselves niggers between themselves, man. All right? But this is a nation that was getting scrutinized and ridiculed, man, and rebuked because of this whole C-19. People were blaming them for it. So you'd think that they have a different attitude towards other people with their prejudice, but no, they don't. They can't help it. All right, and see how prideful they are, and how proud they were that they could stand there. You know, you think that they would say that to if you think if there weren't a barrier between and they weren't in their own land, they would be saying that. Listen, they're weak, man. All right. All these other nations know that when it comes to the epitome of manliness. I'm gonna put it like that, man. Jake is the most manly. That's why they call us aggressive. You know, that's why they think that we're always good at the sports because of athleticism, if I can get the word out. You know, yeah, we are aggressive because why? Because we're dominant males, man. That's how men are supposed to be. But when Jake's doing it, you know, it's wrong. These other nations wish they had, you know, that swag. I'm gonna call it swagger. That Jake has, man. That confidence, man. Being the lowest, deemed the lowest on this earth of men, but still carry the swagger and that strength and that confidence, man. You know, these Moabites, man, because we talk a lot about these Edomites, man, but I know a lot of brothers, including myself, can't wait for the time when we can get our hands on these Moabites, man. They got a lot to pay for as well, man. All right, a lot to pay for. You know that in the States, you know, you can't if our women out there love going to them people for their hair products and all that sort of stuff, man. That's because they have no choice. If you want to create, this is a little side note, if you want to create your own, you know, shops selling the hair products to our own people, man, you can't do it because they have the monopoly on that now, and they won't even sell to us, man. That's how they think about us, man. They really, these, like it was just read in Psalms 83, man. They're confederate against us, man. So they said their plots and their schemes are to keep us lowly forever, because they know once we get up in that power seat, man, we'll never be taken out of it. If Jake had the power without yet the power of Yahweh Shem Shai to create their own nation with their own land and their own armies and their own infrastructure and their business and everything, we'd be already dominating. That's why every time, you know, we've done those things, they've felt the need to try and shut us down before we got too great. Even when you look back into Egypt, man, what happened then? The Pharaoh, he wanted to. He wanted to keep us on that low, man. He wanted to keep us on that low because what, we were multiplying, man, and becoming a strong nation, and he got scared, man. These other nations fear us, man. Really, they act like they think they're above us, but in their hearts they know that they should fear us. But yeah, man, they got a lot to pay for, man, and their time is nearly up, man. This is Zephaniah 2:8. It says, I've heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon. And Ammon are the so-called Japanese, man, and they feel the same way. All right, whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against their border. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom. Right, and what happened to Sodom, man? That place got destroyed. All right, Lot had to leave that place, man, because the Lord had to take it out because of the height of wickedness, man, the iniquity that was going on in that place. Just like what's going to happen to them, you know, the spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, which is Babylon, aka America, is going to have to be destroyed, man. It says and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. You see that, man? Because the Lord, man, and that's the beauty of the Lord, man. Even though we're doing these things to exalt Him and to get His vengeance, man, you know, He's gonna use us to do that. And you know, Lord willing, I pray that I make it, and I'm one of those men that get to mete out that vengeance, man. And in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, righteously to deal with these nations that have dealt us so wickedly, man. So it says, yeah, the residue of my people shall spoil them. You know, not how we use that word when it comes to children and stuff. You know, when you give children too much more than they deserve sometimes or whatnot. No, man, to spoil means to decimate, to take. In fact, let's get into the word, man, so I can make sure I give you the proper definition of that word, man. Come on. What's going on here? Let's try that again. Right. Yeah, there you go. Plunder. Prey upon. Seize. To spoil, plunder, despoil. To be spoiled, plunder. To be taken as a spoil. So that means we're going to plunder, take everything they got, man. You know, we're going to put their men to rest and take their women, man. And all that they have. Because really it belongs to us anyway, man. I mean, the Lord made the world for our sakes, man. He says, yeah, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. So all these heathens, man, especially Edom, Moab, we're going to take them for possessions, man. What does that mean, man? Slaves. Just how they've all had a hand in it. They've all had a hand in our demise, man. It says, this shall they have for their pride, because they reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts, man. And was they not doing that in that video, man? They reproached those men, man, and magnified themselves. Who else has to put up with this shit on this earth, man? Except Israelites, man. You know, these Moabites, man, they got anti-Asian hate crime bills, man, in the last few years in Babylon, America, because a few of them were getting dealt with, violently on the streets or whatever, and they was making it out like it was all Jake's doing it. When Esau's been doing that to them for years, man. Esau's the very man that, was doing all sorts of things to them during wars. The Moabites and the Ammonites, man. But they're under Esau's spell, man. This is the Lord will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the powers of the earth, and the men shall worship him, every one from his place, even all the isles of the heathen. Right, man. All these other heathens are gonna have to worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. But they're gonna have to worship him. But they're not gonna get. All they're gonna get for worshiping him is not being destroyed, man. All right. We worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and he's our power, but he's not their power, man. But they're gonna have to bow down to our power. Just gonna get a couple more scriptures and I'll leave it at that, man. Yeah, but these I can't wait, man. Lord willing, I'm one of them men that is gonna have a hand in the destruction of these wicked Moabites, man. And they're some of the worst people on the earth, man. All they're about is faking and forging their way through existence, man. These are sort of people that they fake anything. They fake rice, lettuce, honey. They're just about doing things the short way. Hence the reason why everywhere in the world wants to get them to make things for them, man. Every time you look at a product, it says what made in China, man. Because what? Cheap labor, man. Cheap and cheerful, quick and easy. Alright? That's what they're about. Jeremiah 48:29 says, we have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceeding proud, his loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride and the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, saith the Lord Yahweh, but it shall not be so. His life shall not so affect it. Therefore will I howl for Moab, and will cry out for all Moab. Mine heart shall mourn for the men of it. Right, let's go into something else. But look, I can't wait for these prideful nations that think they're better than us to be brought down low, man. Alright? And I'm gonna just end it on this last couple of verses here. You know, because we could pull up any of these nations, man, and get into them, because they're all against us, man. All right, but that's all right, man, because no matter what they do, they don't have a power, and they don't have the only power, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, you know, imagine being one of them men and not understanding the way things are and the truth of everything, and getting off that bus in a foreign country, people waiting for you. You probably think getting off the bus thinking they're waiting for you to cheer you or something. And all they're doing is standing there calling you niggers, man, and laughing about it. Obadiah 15, it says, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Right? So they're going to drink that cup of sorrow, that cup of captivity, that cup of loneliness, man. Right? They're going to drink that cup. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. A separation, man. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Alright? So I'm going to close out on that. Yeah, man. It's just a matter of time, man. It's just a matter of time. You know. That's what I've got to say on that. So I want to give all the praises and the glory and the honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. And with that I'll say Shalom.